All right. Well, good afternoon or good morning. We're here with period 7. You want to say hi, period 7?
What's good?
All right. So we're going to be going over very quickly here weather versus climate. So Roman numeral 1. So we've got weather. And let's see. So weather is going to be the atmospheric conditions outside right now. So atmospheric conditions. Atmospheric conditions outside right now. And of course we're talking about right where we are too. So for example, that could be cloudy, 68 degrees, breezy. So just what's going on immediately outside right now. And it can vary from day to day. Guys, you have a question on that? Example. I'm kind of abbreviating that. Cloudy, 68, and breezy. Do I need to zoom in a little more? Maybe I can. There we go. So it varies from day to day. Even hour by hour. So it's just a snapshot of instantaneously what's going on versus climate, which is the long time conditions that are going on. So we're going to put climate here. In the starter we talked about Fresno having hot summers, tend to be dry, not much clouds. Not very breezy. Wintertime tends to be cooler. You can get more humidity. We don't have a lot of fog anymore, but we can get usually a little more rain, quite a bit colder. So that's the climate. It's in general, in summertime, it's hot. It's not windy. There's very little cloud cover, if any. It's usually hazy, and it's awful. So climate is weather conditions over a long time period. To be EA, whoops, sorry. Weather over a long time period. So weather over a long time period. And that long time period, let's see, what did I have here? That can be either like a season or even a year. Seasons probably be a little bit better. So that's the long time period we're talking about, 3 to 4 months or even longer, kind of getting an idea of what's going on in that area. I would love to move to like a Portland or Seattle because I love rain, I love cool, I love cloudy days. My wife would not like that. She wants the sunshine. She gets depressed if there's not sun. And so there's different places you could potentially live. So, for example, Fresno, we said, tends to be, let's see, Fresno it has cool, used to be foggy, not so much in Fresno anymore. I think we get out of town where there's not as much building. Cool, Fresno, sorry. Cool, foggy, winters. And we tend to have hot, dry summers. I need you two to be quiet or leave my room immediately. It's a German word I invented. It's called shut up and see Howden. It means please be quiet when it's time to be quiet. And this is a time to be quiet. I know. This is what period 7's like, guys. Okay? So here we go. Yeah, it is! Okay? You're the wild animals. Must be the end of the day thing. Here we go. Okay, someplace like Seattle. So Seattle tends to be moderate. They call it temperate. That means it's not hot, it's not cold, temperate marine. Oceans tend to stabilize temperatures. That's why when you go to the coast in summertime, it tends to be cooler. When you go there in the cold wintertime here, it tends to be warmer. Because the oceans, marine environments, they keep a steady temperature. So let's see, and let's see, they tend to have cool, wet winters. So that's the climate around Seattle. And then you get someplace like Phoenix, Arizona. Okay, that tends to be, it's a hot, dry climate. Let's see, we get there, and with really short, we have here short winters. They don't last long over there. In the summer, they do tend to get the monsoons. They'll get big thunderstorms. It'll drop stuff, and then they move out kind of quickly. But in general, it tends to be hot and dry, those little intermittent parts. And we're almost done here. We're just going to do 4 diagrams. And then done. So let's see. Roman numeral 3. 4 factors that affect climate. Or I'll say influence. 4 factors that influence climate. So first off, what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of draw 4 little circles here to kind of represent the Earth 4 different times. I'm just going to kind of do a light outline, but we're going to focus on 4 different factors of the Earth over there. The first factor is going to be land. I'll do this in black here. So land. And let's see, we can draw a little bit of, let's see, Europe over here, kind of a black blobbish over here. Then you kind of got Africa poking down over here a little bit. Over here you're going to have, oh, okay, we're going to come over here. There would be like the coast of the United States coming in, Florida sticking out there, and then you got South America popping up. So we're kind of drawing here a little bit of land down there, not much. Most of it's covered, a little bit up there, a few islands in between. But so that's one of the factors. It's what's going on the land. Land can gets heated quickly, heats quickly. So I'm just trying to represent that. Let's see. The next one's going to be, I'm going to use a blue pen, oceans. And with this one here, so what we didn't color in right in the middle here, I'm just going to come and color into here to fill in. So the Earth is 70% oceans. We're mostly a water planet. So this is going to be 70% oceans. And then down in this corner, I'm going to put the polar regions. So polar. And with that one, that's going to be the region up here where we have ice in the North Pole and the Arctic. And then down here, huge continent down there, mostly covered with ice, is going to be Antarctica, the opposite of the Arctic. Antarctica. The Arctic's kind of interesting. It's just a big ocean right up in the middle. There's no land right at the top. Down here, Antarctica there is mostly land over there. So then we've got, so basically what that comes down to, it's the ice. Ice reflects sunlight. Oceans absorb sunlight. So what scientists are kind of concerned about right now is that as we're beginning to melt away, as the temperature is increasing in the atmosphere, the Arctic and the Antarctic regions are retreating. And in some cases, they don't they'll still freeze up, but then they melt really quick. They freeze up later, and what happens is if you expose more of the blue ocean, it gets hotter quicker, which makes the ice melt quicker. The ice reflects sunlight, and the less ice you have, the more that it heats up. So we're kind of getting into this cycle of we're making more blue ocean that gets hotter, that makes the white reflective ice caps melt away. And then the last part, I'm going to try to draw on here the atmosphere. So around the Earth, we're going to have the atmosphere. I'm just going to try to draw just, I don't know, stuff that represents, make some clouds over here. So this will be atmosphere. And usually you see, when you're looking at slide, you see the breezy parts, but I'll make some little clumpy clouds. But this is going to be air and clouds, or atmosphere. So those are going to be the four things that really interact that are going to affect climate. When we get the hurricanes off the coast of Florida, over there, over here in Africa, the land gets really hot. You get these swirling air masses moving, and then as the Earth rotates away from that, these swirling air masses move across the ocean. When it hits warm oceans, it fuels it even more, making them spin more, and that's how hurricanes develop. So the hurricanes that hit the coast of the United States, they tend to usually start over the African deserts, and then they get warm as they're going across these oceans, because the Atlantic Ocean here is really warm, and then it impacts. So anyway, I'm going to stop right there, and that's going to be our notes for today. Thank you. Thanks, period 7.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.